Peace, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you are showing me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a Mexican boys who actually said that he referred to his friend with the N word, like he uses the N word. And he said it doesn't really matter, like he grew up with, like he's a Mexican, he grew up also in black community, and it is okay for them to use the N word. And that also takes me down to all the comments I see you all say that most of them say it in their household. Yes. And I have also seen Asians wanting to use that N word so bad. And how can a particular set of people say that this is, just don't use this word on us? Why is it that it is that same word that you all want to use? And it is crazy how these Mexicans, like, how they think it is okay to use it among their friends, because, you know, proximity to blackness makes some people think that they are black, or like they can pass so many things. And also, I think it is very wrong for black people to also be giving people pass on using the N word. They are just going to keep using this thing, and one day they are going to use it on somebody that it is not okay, like that does not tolerate bullshit. And then they get kicked out, like, you know, get their ass whooped, and they come out to scream black people are prejudiced, or black people are red to the season, and the rest of it. I mean, people have already said this. Do not use this word on us. Don't say it. And he knew that he said, I know I am going to get cancer. He knew what he was saying. And some of the most horrible part is that some of them actually use all these words in their families. Like, it is okay to use it and all that. But then that really sucks. But it is what it is. That is the reality. He is actually saying the truth. So many of them use it, even behind your back, with their families, without even you knowing. But I hope that someday some people's asses will really be whooped real bad. I'm just going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. So straight up, let's get into it.
How do you feel about the use of the N-word?
I like using it on a daily. I refer it to my friends right here.
What?
I'm gonna get canceled.
How do you feel about the use of the N-word?
I don't know. It really doesn't matter. Where I grew up, every Mexican people, they just say it like normal. It's a black and Mexican neighborhood, so like they use it like normal. But I know some people do feel offended by it. It really depends on where you grew up and who you grew up around with.
How do you feel about the use of the N-word?
I feel like it's fair for everyone to say it, because, you know, when you refer to who lives next to you, you know, it's your neighbor. That's the N-word I'm talking about.
You feel that way about the N-word? The N-word. Nigeria.
Nigeria. I use that word all the time. Exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah. That's what I was saying.
All right, I'm just going to come out and say it. Who is allowed to say the N-word? Who is allowed to say the N-word, and why? We hear it in music, we hear it on TV, we hear it amongst your friends. So we have to ask the question, why is it being said, who's allowed to say it, and why? So for the sake of argument, let's break down this comment right here. Really going to try really hard not to get triggered, but you guys know how I get. Let's go.
How do you feel about the use of the N-word?
I like using it on a daily. I refer it to my friends right here. What? I'm gonna get canceled.
How do you feel about the use of...
Stop the video right there. Look, I can't even go 10 seconds without not saying something. I'm already triggered. Look, I understand it's a joke. And obviously, when it comes to jokes, we can't be too far where we can't say certain things. Because, look, we're humans and we want to live. I do understand that. However, when you are so easily able to just say to your friend who happens to be another nationality or ethnicity, hey, yeah, I always use it, and I use it to that guy over there, on a public setting, which is going to go around the world and everyone's going to see it. I don't know if they're friends. I think they're more like frenemies. I get it. I get that's a joke. I understand. I joke with my friends who are white. I joke with my friends who are black. I get it. It's not that. It's the fact that timing is everything, and to say it like that, I don't know. Would he feel comfortable if his friend said that to him in another setting? Let's say something, because the person in the video is Mexican, let's say something which is more socially unacceptable to say, which is discrimination against a Mexican person, like certain words, which, let's be honest, saying the N-word, which is, you know what word that is, the word that's used in rap songs, it's more culturally acceptable to be said and heard due to rap music, things like that. I'm not pointing the finger, I'm just saying what it is. However, maybe saying a word which is derogatory towards Mexicans is not as socially acceptable. So if his black friend, who he just called out and was basically saying something rude to as a joke, if he was to say the same thing in another circumstance, would his friend and most people around the world, would they have a point of contention with that? I think they would. The thing about society that I find interesting is like right and wrong, people think it's just like very easy to tell. Right and wrong is not easy to tell because in a sense, they sometimes become social constructs. And what I mean by that is what might be considered right or wrong in Australia may not be right and wrong in China. So depending on how your upbringing is, the values which are basically held onto and advocated for, they're different across the place. Okay? Maybe it's okay to say the N-word to a black person as a joke here, but maybe in another community with a whole bunch of black people, it's not okay to say it there. However, I'm going to be on the black people's side. I don't want to hear my friend say that, particularly if he is not of my descent. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. It's because I don't want to say that to him. If I had a child who is half of another nationality, I wouldn't want to say a derogatory term, which is the other half of their race. Nor would I want it to be said to me or someone else in a workplace, a work setting, a public setting, a sports setting. I just don't really like hearing that word, and it makes me feel less than. I already told what the people are going to say. Oh, it's a form of endearment. Okay, cool. Say what you want. I'm just telling you my perspective and my opinion. But I do think certain places it should not be said, okay?
I don't know. It really doesn't matter. Where I grew up, every Mexican people, they just say it like normal. It's a black and Mexican neighborhood, so like they use it like normal. But I know some people do feel offended by it. It really depends on where you grew up and who you grew up around with.
How do you feel about the use?
I don't even like that they use that little ding thing like it's correct. I'm like, he's just giving the politically correct answer. Like, it just depends how you feel, depends where you're from. And to be honest, sort of what he's saying is true, but let's flip it. If your parents are there, if your family member's there, if your sister who I was dating, who happens to be Mexican or happens to be an ethnicity that you are, and I was saying that word in front of them to you, would you feel comfortable? Would I be showing respect? I get it, it's a joke. We get it, it's a joke. But the question is, who is allowed to say it and why? And I don't see the reason to bring up a word which has come from basically hate and being considered less than and being a slave. Just to say it so freely so you can have some fun and joke around, you know what I mean? There's other words you can use. Be creative. Come on. He's saying, look, I've grown up in this community. It's black and Mexican. We just say it. It's not a big deal. Okay, but just because majority of people say it or majority of people don't say it doesn't mean something's right or wrong. I think we have to search a little bit deeper. And I think it isn't right for him to think that's okay to say it, particularly when his friend is right there and his friend is black. On another note, this is great content. This is great content. You can tell they're friends. You can tell they're having a laugh, just joking around. But it just asks and it suggests a bigger question at hand. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep going.
The N-word. I feel like it's fair for everyone to say it because, you know, when you
All right, I'm going to throw this phone right now. Okay, so they've gone to I would assume a Mexican guy and another Mexican person, and the last person they're interviewing is a black guy. And the black guy just following his friends, just doing whatever they say. He's like, yeah, I think everyone can say it. Cap, bro. That's probably why you don't have any black friends. I know that's rude to say, but we're not going to feel comfortable. We don't support that. We're not going to feel comfortable that everyone gets the card to say it. I'm not going to feel comfortable that you are giving the card and the license for a derogatory slave-like word to be used on you and all of us because you validate your friends to say that. Wrong. I understand it's hard and he's probably the minority when he's hanging out with his friends, okay? Because he's black and at least in that scenario, there's 2 Mexican boys there. But the thing is, it's almost like, let's be real. Do you think he actually likes hearing that? You even heard at the very beginning of the video, his friend was like, yeah, I say it all the time. And his friend was like, what? Yeah, I know they're joking, but it just goes to show how it is not acceptable and how it could hurt someone. Yeah, it's a joke. We get it. But the question at hand is, why should someone say it? Or is it okay to say it? Now, this is to the black dude in the video. Just because you feel uncomfortable or you want to be their best friend and you don't want to like say something to ruffle the feathers, doesn't mean all us other black people want them to say it, okay? Because I'll be out sometimes, I'll be dancing, going away, doing my thing, you know, doing all that. And then, you know, that part of the song comes on where they're about to say the N-word. And I feel uncomfortable. And the people who have shown me the most amount of respect, they just say, oh, the lyrics dancing really hard, this and that. They might be white, they might be Asian, whatever. And as soon as that part comes on, they just go, look at me. And I look at them. And they just go, and they continue on and they leave that word as a blank. I feel so respected at that point.
refer to who lives next to you, you know, it's your neighbor. That's the N-word I'm talking about.
You feel that way about the N-word? The N-word. Nigeria.
Nigeria. I use that word all the time. That's
Yeah.
what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
How do you feel about the
Look, you can tell they're friends. It's like not a big deal. However, it's just like what it really means when we dig deeper and we deep dive into the situation. So my theory is I don't think anyone should be going around and saying it. And if you're going to say it, at least say it in a situation where you know someone feels comfortable. Not that I approve of that. However, I don't think it should be said because that means if you can say the N-word, then I can say all the derogatory names which are used for you at any time. Whether I'm happy, sad, doesn't matter scenario, okay? Now, I don't think most people would like that. If all of a sudden, everyone woke up today and started saying every derogatory name from every history book or past generations and then just use it so freely as the N-word is used, there would be chaos and no one would like that. So, all I'm saying is keep the same standard across the board. You dig? This video. I'm torn because it's sort of a happy one and I like it, but at the same time I'm torn. I'm like, hey, they're too close to saying the N-word line. Anyway, nonetheless, drop your comments in the comments down below. Guys, it was quite a fun video to react to. Once again, thank you for getting me to 11,000 followers. I'm going to keep on making movies. Make sure you send me DMs of videos that you like. Make sure you like, share, follow. I'm going to keep it pushing. Let's go.
So this is all I got from this video, and yeah, it's just crazy how some people think because, like, you know, proximity to blackness, it is okay to say some certain things. And also, I understand it is their friends, but there are some certain things you are supposed to know that you are not gonna say, no matter what. I mean, you cannot be caught in this situation, no matter how hard or how decent it is. He said, I know I am gonna be cancelled. He knew that he was gonna be cancelled, but he decided to also spill it, to also tell you that he uses that with like when he is with his friends. And also, he lives in black community, and he always, like, it's more like a daily thing. Like, you know, they use it all the time. And that boils down to most of the things, like, you know, I see in the comment section where people say, yeah, they even say it even when you are not there or when you are there. Some of them say it even among their families and use that kind of word and all that. And this really sucks. But then, it's just crazy, you know? But I think people should stop giving friends that pass, because it is when you start giving people pass, they end up saying it to another person. Yes, because he's just gonna be like, yo, I am used to saying this with my friends and all that. And then not until the day you are going to say it to the person that is not your friend. And then you will see the other side of them. And when they see the other side of them, they start screaming right to the season and all that, because they could say it freely among their friends, but they couldn't say it freely when it is not someone they don't, when they cannot say it to someone they do not know, because your ass might be whooped. And the rest of it, you all remember all the stories that went around about a Karen who was dragged to the... This is where I'm going to draw the coin. Thank you so much for the support. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.